What's up, everyone? We are live at 5. It's Monday, June 22nd. Did I get that right, Beth?
You did. Congratulations.
I'm Paul Monturek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And we're joined, as always, by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello, everybody.
And a fantastic, is it 4-time Tony nominee? An amazing music artist. And I mean, so fantastic. Who's here today, Beth?
Oh, the one and only Condola Rashad is with us.
AKA Dola.
AKA Dola, that's right.
We're going to find out all about this amazing music she's making and making it for a good cause. But first, let's do some news.
It has been a bit of a day for Hamilton fans.
That's right. Everybody's waiting for the Hamilton movie, and now the trailer is out. So when you see this trailer, you're going to say, this doesn't look like a movie. This looks like Hamilton on Broadway. And that's because it was filmed right there at the Richard Rodgers Theater in 2016 with the full original company of the Broadway blockbuster. So this will come out July 3rd on Disney Plus. And it was originally supposed to come out Plus.
I just did
it was
the
originally
plus.
supposed to. Thank you. I need a little help.
Sorry.
It was supposed to come out in October in theaters, but with the pandemic, we're all at home and we all need something to keep us entertained. And Lin-Manuel Miranda came in with it. He also revealed today, oh, by the way, Hamilton has a rating now. It's PG-13.
I heard.
But I'm going to let my 10-year-old watch it, so just whatever.
But wasn't there some controversy? Didn't some people say that it maybe should have been more extreme?
There was some language. There's some language.
Okay,
that's
all right.
All. There's a little language.
That's what PG-13 means. I remember when I was a kid, I snuck in it to see Purple Rain. It was R. That was a lot dirtier than Hamilton.
That was a lot dirtier than Hamilton.
Also, where's that musical? Where's the Purple Rain musical? I'm sorry.
Just be patient. One thing at a time. One thing. We're getting Hamilton early. Be happy. Lynn also revealed that he's got a new Disney animated film that he's working on, and he says he's collaborating with the Zootopia guys and Jared Bush, who wrote Moana, with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he said it's set in Colombia in Latin America, and that's all I can say before Bob Iger just shows up in my home. And of course, Bob Iger is the chairman of Disney. Not someone you want to show up in your home unless you invite him. Anyway, look for the trailer and get ready to see Hamilton on your Disney Plus device, whatever that might be, on July 3rd.
That quote, the Bob Iger quote, just shows how Hollywood Lin-Manuel Miranda is.
He's so Hollywood.
He's so Hollywood.
But he's always Broadway. Come on.
And speaking of Hollywood, thank you for that segue, Paul. Some stage stars are getting their own star on Hollywood.
So that is August Wilson. Beth and I, this is one of our favorite playwrights, the late great August Wilson, who died in 2005. But we just found out that he's one of the 2020 inductees of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And that's very exciting. He's an interesting choice because, he wrote so many fantastic plays on Broadway. And in Hollywood, Fences obviously was a big hit movie, and now I don't know if you remember, Beth, but Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is coming out, and I was kind of reminding myself, George C. Wolfe has this Ma Rainey's with Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman. Anyway, so there's some Hollywood stuff happening for August Wilson, and you know what? There are a lot more Hollywood movies that need to happen for August Wilson coming up.
He's got a whole century cycle waiting.
Right? I mean, and I believe wasn't today's guest's mother fantastic in the last one, right? The Gem of the Ocean, Felicia Rashad.
She knows many August Wilson things. And she's a director too, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But it's not all about August. It's not all about August Wilson. It just is for Beth and I. Also getting stars are some other theater people. Laura Linney, Sarah Brightman, Don Cheadle, Christian Slater, Sarah Paulson, Jimmy Smith, Jennifer Lewis, Josh Brolin, who was on Broadway for 5 or 6 weeks, and also Benedict Cumberbatch, who's a big British, of course. Benedict Cumberbatch, but he hasn't done Broadway.
You don't have to tell us, but thanks.
But we like him too. Anyway, so congratulations. I can't wait to step on every one of you.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a new theatrical experience happening upstate in New York.
Okay, that's Michael Arden.
Well, we've actually talked about this a few times on Live at 5 already.
He is so creative, and he's always doing something. And now he's announced his new, it's site-specific, and socially distant theater project.
Yeah,
so this is happening.
Live at 5 viewers already know about this. We talked about it, but they changed the title. They changed the title. It was called
American
Alone Together.
Dream Study. American Dream Study is what it's called now. And this is created by Michael Arden and his Forest of Arden Company. Hello, we have Henry making a vocal appearance, as he is wont to do. And just to reiterate, it's in the Columbia County towns of Philmont, Claverack, and Harlemville. So audience members are told where to drive, where to park, where to walk, all through smart technology. And the company includes Tony winner Nikki M. James, Krista Rodriguez, Andy Mientas, and so many more people, Nick Adams, so many people. So there are a lot of Broadway favorites. If you're near the Hudson Valley and you have a chance, it's invitation only right now, but I hope they expand that so that more people can experience it. Well, we have a very special guest, Condola Rashad.
Wait, did you just say it's invitation only?
That's right, for right now.
Are Henry and I invited or not?
I mean, now that he's made an appearance and he's so cute, how could he not be? Is my answer to your question.
So this is a fun, weird, special theater project happening for our strange times.
And you can put that right on the marquee, of which there is none. You can put it on you can make a bumper sticker of that one.
And there is going to be a very starry celebration saluting the Stars and Stripes.
Right. So one thing we've discovered during this time is that some of these events that we look, that's Kelly O'Hara, by the way, a Capitol 4th concert. She will be in the Capitol 4th concert, which is a PBS special every year, and it's still happening. Vanessa Williams and John Stamos are hosting it. It's July 4th at 8 p.m. on PBS. Now, do you know the connection between Vanessa Williams and John Stamos?
They've been on Broadway.
They were both in Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She was in the movie, and he was on the Broadway.
There you go. That's anyway, a good connection.
Because I was immediately like, it's a reunion. And I was like, different productions. Anyway, and Kelly O'Hara will be there. Brian Stokes Mitchell, Mandy Gonzalez, Renee Fleming, and the Temptations. The real Temptations. I mean,
they're all real to me.
The Broadway Temptations are pretty fantastic, too. But these are like the actual Temptations.
The real deal.
And if you saw Ain't Too Proud, you know that there's a lot of temptations, a lot of potential guys. This could be a lot of different guys. There have been many temptations.
Yes.
But there's only one Dola, and it's time to get to her.
That is the truth.
That's the truth.
Thank you so much for being here, Beth. Hey, Caitlin, will you tell everyone about today's guest?
Gladly. Yes, guys, today we got the Condola Rashad here with us today to start off a fresh new week of Live at 5 Home Edition live right here on Facebook and YouTube. And we're going to talk all about her first solo EP titled Space Daughter and her musical alter ego Dola. We're so excited to talk to her. As you guys probably know, she has 4 Tony nominations for her turns in St. Jones, A Doll's House Part 2, The Trip to Bountiful, and Stick Fly. She also is in Romeo and Juliet. She is busy. She's done a lot. We're so excited to have her here. You guys can follow her on social at Dola Bunny and leave all of your questions in the comments below. Please welcome Condola and Paul.
Hi, Dola Bunny.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
You look fantastic, as always. You know,
By the way,
I'm doing.
Henry's so cute. I've never seen Henry.
Oh, well, he clearly wanted to be in the show today. So, you know, a lot of times he'll just hang out and be quiet. And other times he's like, no, what about me? Stop ignoring me. Stop ignoring me. You look fantastic. By the way, you have this new music video. I told Red before we went on air. It's called What I Said, right? This is chapter 4. Chapter 4 of your experience, Space Daughter, musical experience. And these music videos are stunning. We're going to take a look at it later on. But these are beautiful pieces of art you're making. And the music's fantastic and really like atmospheric. And you want to take people on a journey, don't you?
I do. I always do. Thank you.
Yes, so talk about, and I know you have a long musical past, you know, with your band that you had, and you studied music for a very long time. And so I'm sure this project is something that sort of bubbling up in you for a while. Yes. And I know that it sort of all was about to come out just as COVID-19 happened, and you've gone ahead and you've been releasing these chapters or songs with these beautiful videos, and you've been giving money to different charities, and we're going to talk about the charity. But first, just tell me where this all came from.
As you said, my first expression as an artist was music, which is what a lot of people did not know. And I also love to surprise people, so there's that. But I trained classically as a pianist when I was growing up. I don't play classical anymore, but that's how I trained. And so when I, started to express as an actor, which has been amazing, there came a point, and I had this, as you mentioned, I had a band called Condola and the Stoop Kids. And there was a moment there. We recorded an album while I was doing Romeo and Juliet. So I would literally leave the theater and go to the studio and record. And I was so young, and everything was so independent. And I was.
Wait, hold on. That's a cue for a beautiful photo. We might as well show a beautiful. Who's that guy? I remember him. Orlando Bloom. Yeah.
Orlando.
So when you looked just like that, you were making that album.
Yeah, exactly. I was making the album, and basically it came to me, this understanding that not forever, but I became very aware that I was going to have to choose one direction for the time being, because I was so young, and the music was just kind of budding, and my acting career was also just budding. And I just realized, like, I'm not going to be able to give both of them what they need in order to see them really succeed. So I need to just kind of pick a direction for the time being. Oh, professionally, I mean, I always make music no matter what, but professionally, I needed to just choose one. And that was really hard for me, because music is actually my first passion, always has been. But my acting career was further along. And so I said, okay, for the next couple of years, I'm just going to focus on building that. And then once the time is right, I will come out the gate with my music, and I will build a platform for myself where I can come out with my music, and that's how I'll do it. So that was my plan. And I made that decision that was 2012, I believe, 2013. So 2018, my sister, who's like one of my biggest fans of my music, kind of called me out, and she was like, all right, girl, like, where's it at? Like, you said a couple of years, it's been a couple of years, where's the music? And I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's definitely time. And so 2018, I went back into the studio with my wonderful team. And I basically co-wrote and co-produced this with the other producer's name was Lord Quest, and the other songwriter's name is Alex Saad. So that was my team. And so basically I went back in the studio and I created this music, and Space Daughter came to me, and I didn't quite know what it was. I actually, that title came to me before I even created the music. And I didn't know whether that was going to be my artist name or an album or a song. I didn't know. And then when I created the music, after I listened to the music, I organically heard a through line, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is a conceptual visual EP. Got it. Like, so I just knew, I heard every single song. I knew that this was my playful ode to the divine feminine, and that's what Space Daughter was. And I knew that at the top of every single video, I wanted it to start with the same image of this it's like the core expression of the divine feminine in all white. And then she basically transforms into another version of herself to tell another story of herself. I knew that that's what I wanted. And I often, when I create music, my musical influences are not just other musicians. Like, I'm like, for example, the Running in Place video, which is the chapter 3. That song and video was actually inspired by my love for Stevie Wonder and Tim Burton. So often I have cross references. That's just the way that my muse works. So yeah, I just, and I knew that I had to do it independently, because I knew that there was not going to be a label that was going to let me do this way. Not coming out the gate. They wouldn't have trusted it. They wouldn't have really believed in it, probably. They would have just said, because I do believe that, a lot of times these days, it's like, well, why do all that when you can just get away with doing this? And I was like, yeah, I like to go big or go home, So I felt like I needed to do it independently so I could stay true to what my artistic vision was. And that was a gamble, because I produced it myself. Financially, I produced it myself. But I decided to invest in my work and invest in my artistry. And I figured, later down the road, if there's a music label that understands who I am as an artist and they want to jump on board, then they can jump on board after they know who I am. But I'm not going to allow anybody to change my path as to who I am as an artist coming out the gate. So So by like literally 2019 was the year of the greatest manifestation for me. Literally every single day of 2019 went towards the building of this project, because as the producer, I had to step into roles that I had never stepped into. Like, it's like, okay, I know I got the music, but now I have to figure out like every little detail, like the costumes. Me and a friend of mine, we went and got the costume. Like I was a part of every single part of everything that you're seeing. So it was really cool. And I learned so much about what it meant to be a leader in that way, a leader of a team. And I also learned that I'm a producer. I didn't know I was a producer before this. I didn't know I was a director before this. So it also taught me a lot of things about myself and some of the other gifts that I can offer as an artist. So it was highly, highly gratifying. And I'm so happy at this moment to just be able to offer it, because that's what it is. It's an offering. I offer it to everybody with the love and the light that I put into it. It's just an offering. That's all. So
I'm not surprised that you have all those skills because you clearly have a lot of vision in your head. Just the way you dress, you just always seem like such a visual person, right?
Yeah,
that's always sort of been. Yeah, I know that just from knowing you.
Totally.
Is my audio echoing? It is
No.
a little bit. Okay, it is for other people.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
back. I think. So I also hear your mom used to call you Space Child.
Yes, so which was interesting, because when Space Daughter came to me, that's actually not what I was thinking about. But after I decided to go with Space Daughter, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because Mom actually does call me Space Child. That actually absolutely is a nickname of mine. So it actually works perfectly.
And that was because you were just like off
daydreaming, I was
right?
always like, I was always just creating something in my head or just making something up. And I've always been that way. So Space Child was my nickname.
So let's talk about Campaign Zero. So you have, like I said, you've been choosing different charities to donate to with each of your chapters or singles. And Campaign Zero, if you go to joincampaignzero.org, you can actually find out a lot about it. And it's a fantastic website, actually. I was really impressed because, obviously we're all talking about police reform and how the world should be doing this. And there's a lot of talk of defund the police and reform. There's all this discussion and not a lot of really solid sort of like plans of attack out there. And I was amazed looking on this website and just seeing sort of really what they're proposing. Very solid.
Yes.
And it's all sort of laid out there. So how did you find out about this charity and how did you come up with this idea to link up
I was
with them?
on Instagram. I mean, as the events of the year have unfolded, I just was I was just doing my part by just staying very active and just seeing all the different organizations and collectives and coalitions. And so I just was paying attention, and somebody had posted about it. And so I was like, okay. So I just checked it out, and I was like, oh, like, yes, this. There are many.
Yeah.
But for, again, with these chapters, everything has just been organic and authentic. So, I didn't know that that's where what I said was going to go to until the events of the world have happened. And then when that happened organically, that's where I wanted to direct funds. So then I was like, well, that's where this one's going. You know what I mean? That's where I'm going to direct. That's where I'm going to direct the energy for this one. But as you said, what I really appreciated about Campaign Zero is that, there are concrete ways that we can all contribute actually ending police brutality in this country. Concrete, practical steps that we can take. So there are many different theories, many different arguments, and all of which I think are worth listening to. And in the meantime, there are certain practical things that everybody can do. And so that's why I chose Campaign Zero for what I said.
What have the last few weeks been like for you? You're a very successful Black actress on Broadway. We already dragged about your 4 Tony nominations. And we've seen a lot of discussion sort of bubbling up. I know that your mom, Felicia Rashad, is in. I keep mentioning your mom, but I do love her. But I'm not trying to keep mentioning your mom.
It's fine. I love my mom.
Coming up, your father's fabulous too.
You can mention her you want. I love her. Her birthday.
But I know that she's one of the founding members of this new Black Theater United organization that just started. What's it been like for you, sort of watching your friends and your community react to what's happening in the world, and watching the Broadway community react in the theater world? Where's your head been at?
That's a very good question. Well, I can say, let's see, around the time of the murder of George Floyd, right after that happened, I can say I was very affected by the energetic climate. Because we all watched in horror as that happened.
Yeah.
And by nature, energetically, there was a surge, and there still is, but it was destabilizing. Even for me, I was very destabilized, and I felt, and I still feel this way too, that it is incredibly important for me. I can speak for myself. It is incredibly important for me to find the balance of speaking with clarity and intention, and also leaving room to listen and learn.
Yeah.
Because I think by nature, the energy was to just go out and which is great, actually. And also there were moments where I was like, oh, I actually need to reground so that I can make sure that when I say what it is I need to say, I know what I'm saying, and I'm grounded, rooted in what I'm saying. And that way it'll actually affect those who hear what I'm saying to move into action. But if I don't actually ground my energy, even though my intention might be good, it might not be received in a way that is tangible. And right now we need tangibility. We need real action. So it was important for me to also make sure to tap into what I was feeling authentically, organically, and speaking when I felt moved to do so. And also allowing myself the space to educate myself as well. And actually just understand that in this revolution, which is what we are in, everybody has a role, and there's room for everybody. There are many different roles that will need to be taken at this time. And it's okay to find what your role is, and then just keep your, just keep it going. But I think it's okay to find like what your lane is. There are many different lanes here. And so I think it's okay to like take the time to really get clear about how you want to help and how you can help. And like, because I think a lot of people also felt helpless initially. It's like, well, what do? Who are the people that you're around? Who are the people that you influence? Everybody can do something. Everybody can do something. And I think it's important to support everybody, they discover what it is that they can do. So that's kind of where I've been, and I felt incredible waves of agony, and also incredible waves of joy, and incredible waves of dark and light. So it has just been a plethora of of emotions, and but I do feel incredibly hopeful, and I think that is the thing that continues to ground me. That I feel that we actually are going to create change, and we are already. But I think that we are seeing something here. We are seeing people coming out, and it is a beautiful thing to see. And it's tragic that such events had to happen in order for us to get there. And also here we are. And so it is.
Very well said. I also wanted to ask you about Billions, because that's finishing up, right? Season 5 is finishing. A couple more episodes of season 5. Do you like watching yourself on TV?
It's neither here nor there.
Really? Do you? I mean, you filmed the episodes like a long time ago, like what, like 9 or 10 months ago, I assume, or?
No, we actually were in the middle of filming the season when.
Oh wow!
When hit. Yeah, no, we hadn't finished the season. I mean, we think we only had put out 8 episodes. There's supposed to be 4 more. We stopped, and we just have never gone back.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I think Mark Kubish was telling me about that.
Yeah, so we don't know if we'll be back, but it's neither here nor there. I mean, I think the interesting part about watching Billions for me sometimes is seeing it in action is very different from just reading it. So it's sometimes really cool to just be like, oh, that's how that. Now I get it. Like, like just seeing it, Yeah. And I made such good friends on that show. So like Paul Giamatti is like he's just my hero. I'm ride or die Paul Giamatti, trust.
So you're waiting to hear about if it's coming back or what the future is.
Yeah, we're just all kind of on the same boat. I'm the same boat as everyone else, and I'm kind of okay with that right now. I have a lot of other work that I'm able to put myself into at the time. So I'm kind of just going with the flow.
Awesome. Your flow is always interesting, so I'm down with that. I'm gonna bring Caitlin back in, and we're gonna take some questions from the fans.
All right. So first question is Eliza wants to know, what's it like? She's like, you have a huge Broadway career moment, you have billions, and now you got the music for everybody to be able to hear kind of for the first time and hear this new side of you. What's that like for you to kind of have all of these different sides that people get to know you for?
You know, I'm truly, to answer that question, I think I'm just really full of serious amounts of gratitude to have been able to showcase what it is that I do in this way. And I almost sometimes forget my path, and I have to go back and look at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened too. That's really cool. You know, because I just keep moving, you know, I don't really, I don't want to say I don't think about it too much, but like, I really just keep moving. So whatever comes through, and then I just put myself into it, and then it comes to fruition in the way that it does. And so I've definitely faced many challenges, but at the end of the day, I feel very blessed as an artist. I mean, I've really been able to do what I've set out to do so far. So that's a really big blessing. So I don't take any of it for granted, ever.
Remember, it all started with this, right? Stick Fly. Remember that?
Well, technically, but it actually all started with Ruined. I was just thinking about.
Oh, right. Of course.
The other day, it was the Black women on Broadway.
The funny thing is, I can see Beth, and Beth is not on camera, but she's like, no, Ruined. What are you talking about?
It's so good. But no, there's a handle on Instagram called Black Women on Broadway, and they had posted these images from Ruined.
Uh-huh.
And I just was looking at them, and it was because that was like 10 years ago. And I just had this moment of like, oh my gosh, like that was one of the most incredible journeys I've ever been on. And that was the beginning. I'm just very grateful. That's all I can say. I'm just very, very, very grateful. It doesn't always go like that. For many, many artists, it does not go like that. So I'm very grateful.
Look at some of these other moments. Look at that. You were with Cicely Tyson on stage, Trip to Bountiful. You were with Miss Laurie Metcalf.
Yes.
Dolls Life Part 2. I mean, it's just, and then of course, Epic.
That was that. Other than Ruined,
Joan.
My favorite. Other than Ruined, this is my favorite.
Yeah, you said St. Joan changed your life.
In my entire life.
It just what made you what did it do? Did it make you just want to go farther or push yourself?
Yeah, in every way. I mean, it also it was just also one of those journeys where the work that I put into it, I got so much out of the work that I put in. I'll put it that way. From my research to who Joan was, to actually tackling the work itself, and then after, I don't know, actually many people know this, but after I did St. Joan, because I actually 3 months before we went into rehearsals, I actually put the script aside and I studied her as if I were writing a thesis on her. So
wow.
I studied her. So I knew by the time we got into rehearsal, I had maps drawn out. I knew from this point, this geographical point, she went from here to there. And then on the next day, this is so I knew the facts before we got into the play. I knew the hard facts from when we knew about her all the way up to where she was burned. So, and so what I did was, because I'm also a very big adventurer, I love to travel. After I did St. Joan, I actually planned this trip by myself. My mother joined me halfway through, but I actually did a St. Joan tour, not with a group of people, but I created it myself. So I actually went to I went to her house in Domremy where she was born. And I basically started there and I went in order. And for 13 days, I actually went all over France and went to all of the places that I knew about, the battlefield, everywhere. I was in Orleans. I went everywhere. Everything that you see in the play, I went to every single place.
Wow.
Castles where she met certain, royal, I went every single place. And it was mind blowing. I mean, it was just to have done the play first and then done that. It was oh man, it was absolutely incredible.
And you're turning to other tourists and you're like, do you know that? Did you know? I know everything. I wrote a
really amazing experiences on that. I mean, it was just just incredible.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. Okay, so Mary wants to know, out of all of the different aspects of your career, what do you get stopped for most, like recognized for most?
I would say billions at this point. I mean, I think, which is also funny because I think people are not expecting me when they meet me. Like, I guess because the character on Billions is like so very not me.
Yeah.
People are always like, oh, she's kind of like wacky and weird. And I'm like, yeah, no, Kate Tucker is really a character. Really
I love that.
Speaking of that, Jane wants to know, out of the characters you have played, who do you feel like is the most like you?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Who was the most like me? Oh, wow. That's like an interesting question. I never really thought about that. I mean, I guess I would say, dang. It's weird because I think I put elements of myself into every single character. Like in certain ways, I would say like in certain ways, just because of like actual character, like Saint Joan, I felt like I had a lot in common with in terms of the actual character, the way that she like was in her personality. But then also, there are elements of me that I also like. There are parts of me that I also identify with, say, Juliet, or I think I put myself into every single character. So it's hard to actually just pick a character other than Kate Sacker, who I don't really identify with. Although she is quite ambitious, but she's kind of ambitious in a dark way. I feel like I'm ambitious in like a light way. She's ambitious.
You're ambitious, like you just want to make yourself look like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to be gorgeous and like give me some visuals and colors. I know you're all about colors. You're about colors, aren't you? You're always like,
no, I'm so that is the color queen. Yes.
Color queen. I can always spot a color queen.
Yeah, I love it. All right, I think we can end on this question. Lily wants to know, what advice do you have for teachers to inspire young students to follow their dreams? Did anyone inspire you to take your own risks?
That is a very good question. My mother inspired me to take risks. And
oh, your mother? Do I know her? I'm just kidding.
I would say encouraging young people to believe, and I don't even always know how to do this, but I think the most important thing is supporting the understanding of a young person's worth. I think it always starts there and what they are capable of doing. So I think, because again, you never know like what someone's dream is, but when you instill the understanding that they are worth whatever their dream that they are going after, then they're worth that, and that they're capable of doing so. That lives in a young person's soul. That lives there. So no matter like what challenges they face, somebody told them and somebody instilled in them that they were capable of doing it and that they were worth doing it. And I think that is something that can be done to inspire young people to go after their dreams, that they're worth achieving it.
Perfect. Those are great words. Let's bring back in Caitlin and Beth. Beth, do you have any questions for Dola?
I don't know. I was enjoying every minute of that. I love everything that Condola has to say. So I don't think I have any questions, though. Great.
She's pretty fantastic. Okay, so we're going to get a peek of the music video. We're going to play out with the music video, right? Okay,
yes.
Good. Thank you so much for being here, Dola. Everyone needs to check out your music and your videos and the whole experience of it all. Are there more to come? More magic to come. I'm into it. Thank you so much for being here. So great to see you. Absolutely. Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today for another fun episode of Live at 5 Home Edition. You can follow along where we get your podcasts by searching for #Live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we have another roundtable hosted by Michael James Scott featuring Celia Rose Gooding, Christian Dante White, and Alex Newell. This is a special Pride panel, and we're very excited about it, so be sure to tune in. And guys, we're going to take you out with Dola's epic new music video.
best, you bring out the worst in me. Nothing more, cry, my love. I'm not the one that I